And now, Minion Works presents Freelance Heroism.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Freelance Heroism. I'm Deece.
And I'm Raechel.
And we just want to, before we even get started, we want to take a second to say thank you to all of our patrons out there at any tier, but in particular, the producer tier patrons who donate a little bit more money to help us produce a very good podcast for everybody. And I'm going to call it very good. What do you think?
It's pretty good. I would say
good.
The editing is fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the hosts is snarky too. One of them is snarky. The other one is subtly snarky, but I'm picking up what she's saying. You know? She pretends to be pleasant, but I get it.
I'm very pleasant.
Raechel, would you like to talk a little bit about our patrons? Tell us who the producer tier patrons are.
I would love to. Also, real quick, I would like to say that just the other day, someone called me an angel because I was that helpful. So, yes, I'm very pleasant.
Yes, the fallen angel.
No.
The morning star, the one that descended. Let us never forget at this time of worshiping of Jesus' birth that Raechel fell to earth and created all of the pain and hatred that you all have come to love. So big shout out to our Satan anagram.
Wow.
Satan clause.
Wow. So anyway, we would like to say thank you to our producer tier patrons. They are Monique Walker, Chris Deeds, Chris Sones, Orient_Tiger, Ario Teabaggin, Rebecca, and Breakmeister.
Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I know sometimes I come off as snarky and mean-spirited.
Sometimes?
Shut up. God, I told you zesty. She's zesty as shit. I know sometimes. God damn it! Now it's just gonna feel weird saying. You know what? Leave all that in. I want people to know the real you. I just want to say thank you, genuinely, from deep down, in the part where the venom sac would be on Raechel, but where just a normal human stomach is for most people. I just want to say thank you guys. You guys help us make a better podcast, and we just finished season 3,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is going to be something a little different, different. We did some production to this one. Raechel, she did some masterwork editing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
Which means that's why she's a little zestier than usual today. She's like, shit talk, yeah. That's what I do. Also, you said you were an angel and I called you Satan. Probably a little bit on me. My bad. In that kind of week. So anyway, yeah, this episode is going to be a little different, and it should be a short run before we get back into it with season 4.
Yes.
Ooh. But before we do that, Raechel.
Yes.
You know what's awesome?
What's awesome, Deece?
There's going to be live pro wrestling. It's going to come to Augusta on Saturday, January 4th, as Pro Wrestling Bushido celebrates their 2-year anniversary. In the main event, former WWE and ECW superstar Tommy Dreamer teams up with Matt Sells to take on the Gymnasty Boys. Also on the card, a huge battle royale, as well as the Boozerweight Classic featuring the ultra-popular Savannah Evans and Augusta's own Shug D. Tickets starting at just $8. Purchase them online at Livewireaugusta.ga or at the door the day of the show. For more information, call 803-522-2768. And you got to check this show out. It's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Raechel, we're going to do something a little different.
Okay.
If you could do some editing magic and switch us over to the new intro for a minute.
Okay. How's this?
That's perfect. There is a realm where fantasy becomes reality and tale becomes truth. A place comprised not only of dice, but of sound, where your mind wields the only passport into the twisting nether. The convergence of visualization and imagination. I submit to you your ticket to the 1,000-year clock.
Thank you for DMing.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll see how it goes. If it's really bad, then that's your fault for making me do it.
Okay. I'm going to keep these maps open to look at them.
Yeah.
If I'd known I had to print them out and staple them together, I would have.
When you had to staple them?
No, the way you did your wheel spin thing.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna matter to you guys.
Okay.
That is a graphical representation of what it looks like, and you're gonna have to either take notes to figure out where you are, or just be lost, and that's sort of the idea behind it. But I have a functional wheel over here, so no worries. I'll know where you guys are. Okay, so your schools have all tasked you, and I say schools as a broad sense, but D-Walk, yours is actually a wizard's tower and not an actual school. But the idea, though, being that your respective, the Primus Libratus and the, I'm going to see if I can remember these, Orthos Ocularum, the wizard's tower has detected a distortion, some sort of issue with the weave of magic, and they've sent you to investigate the region. They can't pinpoint it very accurately, but the great sages have been able to determine that there's something awry in this area, something that could maybe not tomorrow, but could potentially be a very serious problem in the future. So they've sent you to investigate and report back to the Grand Archon of your tower what you found. Raechel, your character is doing this purely on a research grant. They've given you money. Your theory leading into this is that languages have a general, as a linguist anyway, that languages have a general evolution to them. One language manipulates itself and becomes another one, which manipulates itself and becomes another. And you've started to recognize a few incongruencies with a few of the runic languages used by ancient scholars in this region. And so it sort of throws a bolt or a nut into the gears, and it messes up a clean understanding of what came first, which text predates what. And so you've taken out some time from your school and received a small grant to fund your travel to a region where there's a research team investigating other matters that just so happen to align with yours, with your theory. So you're going to kind of tag along, so to speak.
Okay.
Each of you has 4 or 5 handmaids or assistants. What do they call it? Like interns.
Interns.
To assist you. And you've left town, or you're preparing to leave. Let's just cut out the middleman and not let you guys opportunistically stop by the tavern. You guys have left.
You don't trust me in the tavern?
No. You've already set foot. You've traveled for about a day into the desert. Your interns have plotted a course for you, since neither of you are cartographers. And the course is going to cut through a desert. They assure you that there will not be any problems, and that you'll be able to reach the other side of the desert in a third of the time, as opposed to traveling around it. And you're less likely to run into bandits or anything in a less populated trade route.
What could go wrong, Dr. Jones?
Exactly. My nose is so sniffy, and in order to save Raechel a million hours of trouble.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel you, bro. Trust me. I'm trying not to cough on Mike either.
There might be a little sniffiness. I apologize, Raechel, ahead of time.
All right.
So, is there anything you would like to talk about? Introduce yourselves. What you're wearing, what you look like.
Well, we already know each other because he is my slacker little brother.
Okay.
And she is Princess Power.
I meant to the players to the listeners, not to the other players
Each
of the
other.
game.
Ah,
So to the people who maybe don't live within the confines of your guys' spacious and elegant brains, if maybe you could describe the, ambiance up there for them, considering this is an audio
okay.
format, and that would help tremendously.
I'm the pretty one.
Okay.
The younger one, the pretty one, the powerful one. The one that doesn't need to study or go to school, but
Yeah, because you got a sugar daddy.
my sugar daddy
Whoa.
loves me.
Whoa.
Don't be jealous.
We're getting some interesting backstory here.
My horns never look wrong.
Your what?
My horns.
Right.
I'm a tiefling.
Okay. You're both tieflings.
Yes. I don't know about David, but I have red skin and black hair and black eyes.
Yeah, mother dips in the same demon twice, so do I.
Whoa. You're some horny devils, are ya?
Cheers, mate.
Okay.
So,
You want to tell us what you study in your respective schools?
I study portal magic and the abilities to travel through doors between realms.
Right.
I find it fascinating.
Okay. And Rachel?
I study etymology, which is the study of the written word languages throughout time.
Boring.
It's very
So-
interesting.
A historian / linguist
Mhm.
and a scientist / futurist. This would be fantastic. It's like Elon Musk and Tom Sawyer.
At least I smoke weed.
Mark Twain and the big brain. Okay. So we'll say that you travel for a day, and it's about time maybe to either make camp, or you guys can maybe press on if you guys don't mind being unrested. But it's sort of up to you guys. Right now, the desert, it's just dunes in every direction right now, but it seems fine. It doesn't seem too aggressive.
Have we?
You also notice that daylight lasts for a very long time here. It doesn't become night for 6 months, and then becomes night for 6 months.
Oh.
Ooh.
And
Yes.
we're in the daytime cycle.
Yes, you're smack in the middle of the daylight cycle.
Okay. Does it get very hot?
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Okay.
Really, the thing that you have to worry about, and maybe some of your interns who are prepped for travel in this region have studied, that if you're traveling and you see sand whip up, the heat can coast across the like in pockets, and they can burn your skin very easily. Not like fire, but
Mhm.
Riddick, fuck you.
God.
I do love those. They're so corny, but I love them. The Riddick movies and the Xbox game Escape from Butcher Bay. It's fantastic. Okay, so yeah, but right now everything seems to be fine. It doesn't seem to be too hot. It is hot, but it's not any more than you'd expected from this area.
And have we seen signs of any like other people around? Or other
Absolutely
living
not.
beings?
Nobody goes this way.
So the only tracks are the ones we've left.
Yeah, and they're almost immediately masked behind you by sand.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, cord.
And the interns are confident in their ability to navigate solely by the sun?
They're interns. They have a pretty good understanding of what's happening. If they try to explain it to you, it comes out in intern talk. Boisterous confidence in their ability to navigate sand.
I pull out a small flask of alcohol and take a swig. And just marvel at all the sand.
Take in the view.
I
If you look out your left window, you will see sand. If you look out your right window, amazingly, more sand. And if you realize that none of us have windows and you can look wherever you want, again, sand. More sand.
I don't see an issue then with continuing on a little bit longer. I mean, if we haven't seen signs of anyone else, and this is a shortcut anyway.
Okay.
A shortcut that they say works. I look at the interns and just kind of like, yeah. But sure, let's push on.
Do you want to be navigator?
Oh, hell no.
Well,
And have this fiasco go down in my books? No. It'll be the intern's fault.
Sounds like a scientist to me. Okay, so
Now,
we're
if we
pushing
do
on.
pass anything, though, I'll take, title page.
oh,
I'll give us a swing as I start walking forward.
So then you press on. The interns seem young and sprightly, and so they have no issue pushing on.
are they all wearing?
Young and sprightly. I take my bag off and hand it to him. You carry.
Are they all wearing red shirts, Deece?
They are
fuck
not.
me. Oh, thank God.
They are all wearing the same white gear that was issued to you. This is your desert travel pack, essentially. It's a hat, a neck scarf that kind of covers up your face so you don't breathe in too much of the sand.
Mhm.
That was something that they had warned you about could be bad.
Mhm.
Also, it allows you to sort of take your poncho-like outerwear and turn yourself into like a kind of self-enclosed cape for when the heat bubbles kind of coast across the surface of the sand.
Okay.
So that can help protect you. This is harsh territory.
Yeah.
But it's not to be. It's not necessarily you're not afraid of it. You just need to be mindful of your travel.
Mhm. Okay. Well, let's continue on for a while longer.
Well, you press on for the next, 5 or 6 hours, and one of your interns runs up to you and says, it seems that we're starting to get a little more aggressive wind, which is very bad. And one of the other interns said, yes, very bad. He wants in on the finding. Yes, it's very bad.
Okay.
Well, duh.
So should we hunker down and wait for it to pass?
The second intern looks at the first intern to make a consensus. He says he doesn't think it's bad enough to stop yet, but just be warned that at some point we may have to because it's going to get a little more aggressive, but not for a little while.
I stop and turn around and ask, so how fast will this come up when it comes up? How much time will we have once the wind starts?
Impossible to say.
Bad, in finger quotes.
It's impossible to say. And the other interns, yeah, it's impossible to say.
All right. Worst case scenario in finger quotes.
Minutes, seconds.
Feeling lucky, sis?
I mean, not since I found out you were on this expedition.
Not everything comes through hard work. Sometimes you just gotta wait for the good things.
That doesn't.
The winds begin to pick up a little more. It seems like the storm is centered maybe behind you.
Okay.
And it's traveling in roughly the same direction.
All right. Well.
Look behind us. An ex-boyfriend of yours?
Did you sedate sand?
What?
Mr. Sandman.
So.
Bring me Ducky. She's got the web feet.
You know, we told you to leave the Dugnado girl behind.
All right. So, if or when the wind does get bad enough that we need to stop, what is the protocol? What do we do? We just stop? Do we have like something we can put up?
The intern says we just have to tough it out.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be bad, and sometimes it can stay bad for quite a while. So I suggest that we move as quickly as possible and try to cross this, maybe stay ahead of it for as long as possible.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's kick up the pace then.
You guys want to run? You guys want to walk, run? What's the pace that we're talking about here?
I don't think we should run and then just tire us out in the sand?
Up to you guys.
Those
I'm
look
not
like
telling
idiots.
you what to do. I'm just letting you know what's happening.
I don't think we should run.
Okay, so while we sit and think about things and discuss things, things are still happening in the background. So just keep in mind that time
Yeah.
is a
In
factor
essence.
here.
I think
All
we
right.
should just continue at the pace we've been going at.
All right. I'm in the front.
Okay, so you guys travel on for a little while longer. The
Actually,
storm,
in turn B, you're in the front. I'm behind you.
the storm picks up rather aggressively, rather quickly, and is whipping around violently at this point.
Kind of reminds you of Dad, doesn't it? Sorry, Deece.
Let's go. Okay, so the storm is getting way more violent behind you. One of the interns suggests that we might want to try to find some sort of cave or rocky alcove that we can kind of set up. They don't know where any of those are since people don't come through here. There's no real maps, but you've seen a few on your way through, kind of off in the distance, but you hadn't needed to stop until
Okay.
now.
Ugh.
I think that's a good idea.
Okie doke.
That was a 7 on perception to see if I see one.
See, oh no, you don't see one yet.
Okay.
Keep in mind
Yeah,
that
let's-
these dunes kind of cut down on your ability to see for very far. They kind of coast up above you and then go down. And so when you're at the top of one of them, you might be able to see, but only across the top. And if one of the alcoves or whatever rocky outcroppings is on the other side of one below surface area, you wouldn't notice it.
Okay.
So do we have
Do we have a tent?
do we have horses or camels?
No horses, no camels. They're more difficult to manage out here.
Okay. Also, I guess my grant wasn't enough to.
I mean, you had enough to outfit yourself however you wanted, but
Uh-huh.
everyone that's ever been out in this area says if you're going to go off-road, you don't want to bring animals with you.
Okay.
They could bring predators that maybe don't follow the road rules. And then, shout out to MTV, road rules. Okay. And then also that in chaotic sandstorms, you're never certain how an animal is going to react.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll also try to help look around for some sort of shelter.
As you guys move forward a little bit, one of the interns comes up to you and holds up a spyglass and kind of points off in the distance. He says, "Look,
Okay, I will look.
you can see some broken stones. It looks like maybe they were once a large boulder, but have been broken into smaller boulders, and then some sort of shadowy space in between." He said, "That looks like a perfect place to set up. That's
Okay.
not too far off track."
Okay. I mean, that's. Yeah, because we need to find shelter quickly.
Okay, so will you move in that direction?
Yes.
Yeah, we're both
As
that way.
Okay. You guys roll me some perception checks.
8.
21.
Hey. You notice one of the interns kind of bringing up the rear of the camp is sucked into the sand.
Oh no! Just like immediately.
Yes. It doesn't even make a noise, no sound.
I will say, everybody stop, and describe what I just saw and kind of point where that was. And it was someone in the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say that there are 9 of you now.
Okay.
I asked to describe how they were sucked. Like, they went down to the sand, or they were, like, pulled into, like, a storm, or...
It looked like their feet had been moved like forward without them taking any steps, and had slowly slipped them under the sand, and they were gone. So not like straight up and down, but like they kind of went were pulled, like someone grabbed your ankles and pulled, and your body falls flat and then is pulled under the sand.
Okay. Is the sand moving where he was?
The sand, keep in mind that your feet are sinking into the sand, so it's actually pretty deep. But once you get to a certain point, you can kind of feel some solidity, but it's pretty high. That's why you guys have such high boots and things like that, is because think of it like walking in really high snow, but with more resistance.
Okay. Have I ever heard of anything like this happening?
People go missing out here all the time, but they're wild accusations as to what they are.
Okay. But I haven't heard of this particular...
Another one of your interns has been disappeared. One that is standing relatively close to you.
Oh god.
Rachel.
Oh no. Did I see this
I
one?
bolt for the rocks.
I'm going for the rock.
Okay.
I just don't say shit. I just run. Like, fuck this.
Yeah, the other interns are with you. They agree with your consensus and have started moving in that direction.
You know what?
Roll me a perception check, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, especially while running.
Can I use my awakened mind to telepathically feel anything below the sand?
There's
a mind I can communicate with.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you have to roll something?
I don't know. It says I can communicate with someone within 30 feet, but I don't have to share the language, but they have to at least speak one.
No, then you can't.
Okay.
Is this at disadvantage, Deece?
No, it's not disadvantage. It's just going to be a really hard roll.
Oh, okay. I don't make it.
Yeah, did I say working tonight?
Well, then never mind.
Too.
As you kind of cast your eyes around, you notice that you are losing interns.
Oh no.
Awesome. We're down.
There are now about 5 of you total.
Oh, wow.
5 total?
You're approaching the rocky outcropping. You're maybe 2 turns away.
Okay. I'm still booking it.
Okay. On the next turn, I'm going to roll some dice real quick.
Oh no.
That's fine.
Another intern as well.
Oh no.
Jeez, down to 4 of us.
Okay, you reach the rocky outcropping. As you approach, you notice the stone here does not look like the other rocks that you've seen. This looks, with the exception of the boulders that look like it was splintered apart in front of you, the actual walls to what looks to be a doorway, that part that was in the shadowy bit that you couldn't see from a distance, that shadowy bit looks to be manufactured by mortal people, by hands. Somebody crafted it.
Is there a rock I could stand on to observe this door from?
You're standing in the doorway.
Oh.
So the sand sort of slowly tapers off into what looks like rocky cobblestone.
Okay. So we're on cobblestone now, finally.
Sort of, yeah. The big boulder looks like, just from your basic understanding, looks like it had been used at one point to cover this entryway, and would have likely been covered over in sand up to a certain point. But it looks like it has been, I don't want to say exploded by pyrokinetic means, but definitely something did some damage to this boulder and has set it into multiple chunks on both the left and right of the door frame. And if you look at that map that I drew for you guys, at the very bottom, you can sort of see some of the shattered rocky facets.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you see your shattered rocky facets?
Yes.
Good. I like saying that phrasing.
Tell me of the shattered rocky facets that you see.
Okay, so if you guys are still looking out to see how many interns, get a rough count. There are 2 of you, 2 of them.
Okay.
They look fucking terrified. And in the sand, you can see light streaks of red sand where you can infer that they had been consumed or bitten by something.
I look at the 2 remaining interns. Were either of you the one that had the bright idea? Let's walk the shortcut.
They both look at each other. No, that was one of them. We were against it the whole time. And the other one's like, yeah, I was always against it.
I knew I liked you too.
Roll perception this time. Since you guys aren't running, it'll lower a little.
11.
Solid.
9.
Nope, nothing.
I'm switching d20s. That is my player killer. Why is it not
I'm gonna
working?
roll some for the One of them of your interns starts freaking out about sharks.
Sharks?
The sharks!
My hand goes up with an Eldritch Blast look ready.
We're in the desert.
There were sharks out there, I swear to God.
You saw a shark.
I saw the fin.
You saw a fin. Where?
He kind of points out towards where all the red streaks are.
I'm going to do an intelligence check on nature.
You've never heard of
All right,
anything
cool.
like
Awesome.
that before.
I'll
Just
have the roll.
Save you some
Thank you.
time.
That's like saying a shark could do a tornado. Goddamn motherfucker.
Where are you guys standing exactly?
On stone.
On stone. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We don't believe it's sharks, but we're standing on the stone for sure. Okay. Now, I just like that's science for you. Well, let's hedge our bets a little bit.
Go check at the door.
So it's like an open doorway?
Yes, the doorway is open. Inside, you can tell there probably is some light, but not enough to see what's in there from here.
All right.
You
Then I'm
can
going
tell
to-
that there's a luminescent flicker.
Okay. Then I'm
Okay.
going to. I'm going to take a torch out of my bag, light it.
You know you have
Okay.
dark vision. What are you doing?
I'm going to cast Unseen Servant and let it walk with a torch down the hall and see what happens.
Oh, okay, that was your plan?
Yes.
That was your plan the whole time.
Yes.
You didn't just forget that we have dark vision.
I love that
No.
you guys are brother and
Okay.
sister. This really sells it. Okay.
Wow, it's almost like you don't believe in, like bettering yourself physically and knowing what your body can and cannot do.
This seems like a conversation that has happened before. Like a continuation from a previous argument.
I think it is. I think this is a.
I'm sorry if I didn't read the whole book on how we work.
How do you not understand? Like, how old are you now? Like 20?
The interns are looking at each other like,
Fuck off! Look at the two turns. You didn't have to live with her growing up.
I'm
In her
just
regiments, in her eating styles. Holy shit.
look.
Her morning jogs.
Keto and morning jogs are great for you. Okay.
ketoacidosis.
Keto. Just saying it hurts.
The saying. People die from that. Okay, so are you guys going to stand in the doorway, or are you guys going to? You're going to send your unseen servant in?
Yes.
So once they enter, there looks like there is a pathway from where their light is. It kind of travels to the left and to the right, and then a corridor that goes straight down the center.
I'm going to send the unseen servant straight down the center.
Okay. It passes for a little while, and then all of a sudden, the light immediately jumps about, 60 yards.
Ooh. Intern.
And then
Experiment number 2.
the light drops to the ground and slowly kind of dwindles out. And the unseen servant is no longer seen. No longer felt or controlled.
Look. Interesting. I pull out a little journal, start making notes. Slip it back in.
So it jumped 60 yards forward.
It looked like it jumped 60 yards forward, but as soon as it passed an area right as it jumped, you lost all tethering to it. And then the torch hits the ground and dwindled out.
Intern.
Don't.
How can I help you?
You dropped my torch. Can you go get it?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
It's definitely not a good idea, but that's why I'm asking you to do it.
I do not think that you should do that.
And he's like, I'm her intern.
Really?
The other one looks is like, yeah, I was assigned to her.
I could have sworn one of you was mine.
Nope. We love to read.
If we survive this and we get back to the tower, I'm gonna have both your scholarships stripped.
You can roll an insight if you'd like.
I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, but they are firm that they were her intern.
I really don't care if they were or not. I didn't think they were gonna walk down the hallway anyway.
They are holding firm to the fact. Like one of them is like, yeah, I read all the time. I love it. It's my favorite. Words, right? Am I right, bro? Words. What? Who even made those?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good.
I look at my sister. Smart one you got there.
Well, you're my interns now.
I look both at them. Okay.
All right. Are there any kind of markings around the doorway or, like, any kind of symbols?
You have to walk inside, but on the doorway on the outside, there
Mhm.
isn't anything that you can discern.
Just looking in, is there anything like that on the walls inside?
The interior wall is about, we'll say, 40 feet wide.
Holy shit.
Wow.
The hallway is about 40 feet wide.
Okay.
But stays roughly the same size whether you go forward or go left or right. You can make out that there is something on the wall, but you can't determine what it is exactly.
I pull out my spear. I flip it around backwards so the wood ends on the ground. And I begin to tap the floor inside the doorway.
Okay.
Couple, little punches on the 2 to 3 punches on.
As you're walking in?
Yeah, kind of like gritting it out, so you can see if it's set off a pressure plate if there is one.
Okay, Rachel.
I'm gonna walk behind him.
But you're keeping pace.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay about 10 feet behind him.
Okay. The 2 interns are going to be spaced a little bit behind you, but they're going with you.
Okay.
As you approach, you can tell that there is some sort of writing on the wall.
Okay.
Okay.
But you can't tell what it is exactly. Even for you, the language seems foreign, and not foreign like if you didn't speak French and you spoke French, you could still determine there were some rules that the language might kind of have in common.
Okay.
Like you were saying, like how a language will evolve.
Mhm.
This looks like nothing you've ever seen before. It could be mathematics, it could be strange art, but the structure of its arrangement seems like writing.
Okay. Is the writing or whatever it is it carved into the wall?
Yeah, it's carved.
Okay.
I'll start sketching it out
Is it
in my book.
Is the writing small enough for me to do like a rubbing of it from like a page?
Yes, but keep in mind that it covers every surface.
I just want to grab like a sample really quick of
Yeah,
sort
easily
of
you could do that.
the layout, just to have that before I start making more notes.
Can I do an intelligence roll to see if there's a pattern in it, if there's like a repeating pattern?
You
if
would
it repeats itself?
You would need to make an intelligence roll. It doesn't seem to. Actually, yeah. Go ahead and roll an intelligence roll.
18.
It doesn't seem to follow a pattern like if it were counting. It doesn't seem to go like 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, or anything like that. But it does. You do see the same symbol in multiple places.
Okay,
So
that symbol I'm gonna write down in my book. I'm going to start looking at the symbols before and after to see if there's a pattern at all.
All of the symbols repeat. It
Okay.
looks like maybe like an alphabet.
How many symbols does it go before it repeats all the way?
Oh, it doesn't repeat. I mean, it looks like they're individual phrases or sentences,
Okay.
but you just can't make out necessarily what they are.
Are there sections that are sort of, it looks like they're sort of denoted as being like their own thing? Like
No, there's no... Okay, all of the... Think of it like this. Do you speak Chinese in real life?
No.
So if you were to see the kanji,
Mhm.
the symbols,
Mhm.
next to each other with no punctuation, just symbol, 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 and
Yeah.
then another row, symbol, 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 aligned both
Uh-huh.
left and right in blocks, would you be able to
No.
know what was happening?
No.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
no frame of reference for which
Okay.
to...
All right. Well, shit.
But it does seem like some of the symbols, pretty much the majority of them, repeat themselves at some point.
Mhm.
It's indiscernible to you as a linguist whether or not each one of these means a word, or each one of these is a sound, or a letter.
Right.
So,
Right.
not enough information.
Okay.
All right.
But it does cover every surface of the walls, both interior and exterior wall.
Okay. And all 3 hallways have it.
You can't see the center hallway. You guys said you were making an etching as soon as you came in. So you
Yeah.
want to say left or right? Which side of the wall did you choose?
Left.
Okay. So then on the left, sort of towards the center as you were walking in, or towards the wall that you just walked in from?
Let me look.
If you look at the map, the stone's at the very bottom of the map. Keep in mind
Yeah.
the map is graphical. It's like a graphic version of a map. But the stone's at the bottom. See that little divot?
Yeah.
The little light, darker brown divot? That is the door frame. And then if you look directly to your left or right down that light brown, that's the hallway that you're in.
Okay.
So on both sides of that wall, if you were to face left, both on the right and left of it, all
All right.
of those walls are completely covered.
All right, then I see left side.
Okay. Well then, yeah, you can make your rubbings or etchings or whatever.
Okay.
As you start to do that, though, you hear... actually, roll perception checks.
Woo, 15.
Oh no. 8.
Okay. Well, David, you hear it. You're focused on your letter play.
Mhm.
Oh my god, look at these ones. These ones look like triangles. Oh my god. David, you can hear what sounds to be like gears or a mechanism of some type. It starts off faintly at first, but slowly increases in volume, and you hear it before anyone else does. And then all of a sudden, the door behind you just shuts. Like it was a piston. Like a sheeted wall from the right kind of rotates around and slides from the right to left, closing the entryway.
There are gears in the walls.
Is that what made the door just shut?
Yeah, there's a series of mechanics that went off before it shut off.
Wow, thanks for telling us after the fact.
Anytime. I enjoy being trapped in here with you. You know this.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what I wanted.
If the
Rachel.
tower would have told me you were coming, I would never would have come.
Same here.
Since you're doing the etching, Rachel, on the wall,
Yes.
as you're rubbing charcoal across it or however
Uh-huh.
you're making your etching,
Yeah.
The symbols start to not make any sense. They start to like get blurry. And if you want to roll a perception check real quick.
Okay. 16.
Okay, you notice that the wall is actually moving behind you. The reason the etchings are blurry is because there's now new symbols over where your old etching had been.
Oh.
It doesn't seem tangibly the wall is moving, but the symbols are for sure not where they were a second ago.
Okay. Is anyone else also looking at the symbols right now?
No, it's just you
No.
looking at the symbols. He was noticing the door and the gears.
I'm messing with the door and the gears now.
He's like, I'm way beyond letter wall.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like, chill
no.
out, Vanna.
This makes sense. I'm looking at the letters, and he's looking at the doorway, which is a type of portal. So
That makes sense.
Yeah.
the symbols are moving.
I like to buy a Val.
If you look at the symbols on the wall, they're not moving.
Uh-huh.
I'll
But
go over.
yeah.
Did you get into my weed?
No,
Okay.
I would never do that.
Well, you look away for just a second, right?
Uh-huh.
You were observing some symbols to look at your etching, and then at the wall. You look at him to condescend, and then when you look back, the symbols you were just looking at are now different
I'm just
on the
gonna
wall.
touch the symbols. Does the wall feel like warm or
Nope. Feels
Just-
like stone, like it's
just
always
feels like
been that way.
stone?
Mhm.
Okay. Huh. I'm gonna make a note of this in my book.
D-Walk, you can hear the gears finally clunk to an end.
That's not good.
And you hear a bell, like a chime, like a old church bell. Jung.
Am I the only one that heard the bell? As I'm sitting there still looking at the door, like trying to see where it came out of.
Do I hear a bell?
You hear a bell.
I hear a bell.
Everyone hears it.
Well, the bell came at the end of whatever this mechanism stopped moving. The gear started, the door slammed, and finally everything is stopped.
Okay. Where did the
Which means we triggered something stupid.
Well, really you
This
did
is
because you were
awesome.
in the lead. So
If you look
Who
down
was
the
more
hallway,
foolish, the fool or the one following the fool?
if you look down the hallway
Uh-huh.
that you're in, which I'm assuming your heads will turn to, somebody will notice this, no matter what you roll. You see a figure. They are glowing lightly, almost like a spirit, how you would imagine that. But their movements are erratic, jittering between each gesture. If you want to see what they look like, I have a drawing here that I did for you.
Oh, we have a drawing.
That is the figure that you see.
Oh.
Okay. He is about 7.5 feet tall. His skin that you can see on his face is metallic, what you would describe as quicksilver. He wears a black and trimmed with purple cloak and hood, and he's carrying a staff that has a metal shape on it that sort of looks like wings, maybe like the leathery wings of, say, a dragon, kind of simplified into a metallic shape. His gestures, though, when he moves, are disjointed. It feels like he doesn't have enough frames in his animation, so to speak.
Okay.
And he is approaching you.
Oh, what an insight.
In what regards are you inciting?
Does it seem threatening, the motions he does have?
No. I mean, it's something wildly unnatural about him, but not necessarily threatening.
All right.
He isn't approaching you with any type of threatening gesture. Not even like he's approaching you particularly, but that he's walking in the direction that you happen to be.
I put the spear away.
I'm gonna put my hand on the hilt of my sword.
It starts to speak.
I was going to pull out a snack, but okay.
It says, "Fallen moment, rarely seen. Beware the void that lay between." Ladies and gentlemen, Freelance Heroism Deece original. Buy the album today. All my ghosts spit hot fire.
I pull out a piece of trail. Bawa neat Denny guy.
He does not respond to the universal greeting, David. You can offer him as many Energon goodies as you like.
It was worth a shot.
He continues to walk past you.
Oh.
And as he approaches closer, you notice that his arms are separate from his body. Like where his elbows would normally be, there is nothing there. But
Look at the interns. Too much keto.
He got no elbows. That boy ain't got no elbows.
Fallen moment rarely seen. Be aware of the
So he's just walking past us now.
Yes. And then through the door, like where the doorway was, he walks past it and back around the other side.
2 gold if one of you interns hugs it.
They're like, no. Never gonna happen.
Is it so you said it was glowing a little bit. Is it can we see through it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't seem entirely there. And
Okay.
to say that it looks like a spirit is just the best way you can describe it. It
Mhm.
has a brightness to it in this dark place.
Did it make contact with the ground?
You can tell that it was contacting the ground.
Shadow?
It was stepping on it. No, there's no shadow.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it reacts to light in the same way, but there is not much light in here, to be honest.
Does it ever actually look at us?
No, it doesn't change its vision from its hallway walk.
Okay.
Should we
if you
follow
look-
it or do we keep going?
That's a very interesting question. One that only a player could answer. If you want to keep observing it, you would have to leave where you're standing and follow it around the circular room to the right, which is where it's walking.
You know what? I'm going to walk in its footsteps.
Like right where it was walking, or actually try to make up speed and walk with it in its footsteps?
No, not walk in its footsteps. Like, I'll walk where it was walking, kind of like follow it.
Okay. You can follow its footsteps and you can see it as it walks up to this rectangular pattern on the door or on the wall. If you look at your map, you see how it's like a circle that's bisected 4 times? See how it has like 4 chambers, 4 major compartments of different color? As it approaches that first set of yellow doorways on your map, it stops for a moment, and then you can see it gesture like it would be opening the door, walking into it, and then closing the door behind it.
So I saw it actually open and close the door?
Yes. The door didn't move, but it gestured like it was opening and closing the door.
And then just walk through it.
Yep.
Okay.
I pull out my spear. The butt end of it. I touch the door.
Rachel, where are you at?
I would have followed him as well.
Okay. The interns are going to be a few feet
Right.
behind you.
Of course.
They're in this weird moment, in this weird kind of place where they don't want to be left alone. Right, when you guys start to walk off, they don't want to be here by themselves.
Right.
But they don't want to be in front of you. So they want to follow in your footsteps as David did with the figure. Okay, so you tap the doorway with the butt of your spear?
Yeah, where it walked through.
Okay, it seems like a metal door.
Okay.
It seems like a regular door, like it has a handle.
It does have a handle?
Yeah. It looks like a door that was made for a person.
All right.
Like maybe it would be in...
was this off to the right or the left?
You followed it to the right.
Okay.
So to clarify, on your map would be where the G is, the gamma sign on the very bottom right. If you follow that around up towards where you would see the delta, that in between those 2 segments is where that door would be.
Okay.
The 2 yellow markers.
Okay.
By the way, for anyone listening, I'm going to post the map at some point, so you'll be able to follow along if you want. I don't know who would do that. That has to be like a really, really into this game podcast listener.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reference the maps. Where are they? I'm like, wow, that's nerdy even for me.
I look back at her, look back at the door. What kind of handle is it?
It's a door handle like a knob.
Damn.
Like you
All
would,
right.
like you would have in like maybe a research lab.
All
Like
right.
most places would just have like a handle that you'd pull. This
Yeah.
looks like there's a mechanism. You put your hand on it and you rotate it, which would then unseal the door.
Okay. So I get kind of closer to the door and I put my hand on it and I slowly turn it, listening.
You hear at some point during the turn, you hear a click, and the door is now released. And if you pull it, it will open.
I look back. I pull it open.
Okay.
And I scream really loud, like I'm in pain.
Do you really?
Yeah.
The interns freak the fuck out.
I can't hold it anymore and I start laughing my ass off at the door.
I'm gonna look at the interns. Be like, he does this all the time.
Okay, so in the door, you see that there's maybe 20 feet, 10 feet on your side, 10 feet on the other side.
I was about to, as you say 20 people, I was like, oh shit, my bad.
There's like a 20-foot rectangle. Like 10 feet would be on this side of the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you open the door, and then there's that distance, and then another door on the other side.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like it looks like a compartment, like a closet that has another door on the other side.
Oh jeez. Oh fuck.
Okay.
Why do you come here and hold this door open?
Okay. One of the interns nervously approaches and holds
If you
the door.
let this door close, I'll kill you myself. I pull the spear out, touch the floor around the room again.
It's fine.
All right. I'm gonna investigate the room, see if I can see any where it looks like there could be a floor shift or a plate or something.
By the way, you're using your level 3 sheets right now. Or no, level 1 sheets.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was about to say, holy shit, bro! I would have been doing a whole lot more. No, okay. 17 on investigate.
Okay. What are you're investigating the door?
No, the room itself, seeing if I can see if there's like any cracks in the floor where something could shift or the room would just.
It looks like a room made of sort of the same materials, except there's no symbols in this room.
Okay. So it's all
All right.
plain. It's completely plain on the walls and
Yeah, it looks like a metallic or some sort of stone metal kind of alloy
Okay.
wall, and it's perfectly smooth. It's the roof, the floor, or the ceiling, the floor, and all of the walls, including where the doors are hinged to.
There's no like tread marks where the walls have collapsed on themselves or
Nope.
the room's crushed. Okay.
It looks pretty pristine.
I pull out an Eldritch Blast and I shoot the door on the other side.
What are you doing?
You're gonna shoot the door?
Yeah, on the other side.
Okay.
Just to see if anything jitter or shakes loose.
You wanna roll some damage for me?
Oh shit. My bad.
The door doesn't move, so no need to try to hit it.
7.
7. The door receives substantial damage. And as
Ooh.
that happens, the door kind of starts to shake and starts to be pulled. Like you can see the metal warping out towards the other side of the room.
Oh shit.
What did you do?
Nothing? Don't say a word.
D-Walk, what are you doing now that this door is acting all crazy?
Fucking, I'm going to it.
You going to the door?
The great old one goes through doors like this all the time. He's a lot stronger than me.
Okay.
But
the door is
no-
being
no.
sucked outward.
No,
That seems like a bad idea. And if you die, then
is.
I'm gonna have to tell Mom.
You can hear a faint whistle.
Shit. I come back and close the door with the intern on staying on the outside on our side.
Okay. You close the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
You threatened to tell Mom?
Yeah.
You no longer hear the noise, David.
Open the door.
The door is fine.
On the other side?
Yep.
I'll close the door. Open it again.
Door's fine.
I'll give the intern. Open the door.
You
Look
hear
at
a
it.
large cat.
Open the door again. Look at the intern. Look, put it away. I point at it. You see that? That was getting sucked the other way, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, time to experiment again. Hold the door. Another Eldritch blast to the door this time.
Okay. Gonna roll me some damage?
9.
9. You really damage the door. It starts to cave in again. And it starts to make the whistling noise much faster this time.
I slowly close the door, not all the way. And I shoot one more Eldritch blast at it.
Okay, wait. While the door's open, you're gonna shoot.
I'm kind of closing the door, cracking with like one hand through it, and shooting it right.
Okay, so the door's still open with your arm through it.
About enough to keep my arm through it.
Okay, as soon as the Eldritch blast hits, you want to roll damage for me? It's irrelevant because of the previous number, but go ahead.
7.
Okay. The whistle gets super loud, and all of you that are in this hallway, you can feel your body be torn apart.
Oh, I slammed the door.
You don't get to slam anything, David. Your body's being torn apart.
Oh.
Did you kill
are
us?
ripped into little bits, into nothingness. And then you hold on.
This is the best face palm she's ever done.
You guys are thinking for a second, and you're like, should we follow that figure? The figure is walking down the hallway. David, you had the bright idea to follow in its footsteps as it approached the curvature of the hallway.
Do I have memory of being ripped apart still?
You know that something really distracted you for a minute.
Huh.
You're not certain 100% what it was.
Hey, sis, you think we should follow it?
I mean, it's something to. Yeah, let's see what it's doing.
All right. Okay, you guys follow it.
Its footsteps again,
and
or
it
not
approaches
again.
the door with its disjointed shape, kind of jittering around. It gestures like it's going to open the door, and then it steps inside and closes the door. But the door doesn't actually move. You just see it gesture to open and close the door.
I take the end of my spear out and tap it again, or tap it for the first time.
Door seems fine. David, you have a wave of like you feel like you've been here before.
Yeah, like
You want to
reach for the handle, and I stop as I reach for the handle.
You want to roll me a wisdom check, David?
Yes. Ooh, that's a 14 plus a 4.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, that is 18.
David, you know that a moment ago you destroyed this door and it made a loud whistling noise, and then you felt agonizing pain.
I stop.
Are you gonna open the door?
I already did.
No, it's still shut.
Yeah, we died.
You're being weird again.
I get in your head. I get in your head telepathically, and I put the image of me getting ripped apart in her head
I
telepathically.
hate when you do this.
I hate when you telepathically implant a future reality in my brain.
Just so she can like feel the imprint of the pain of being ripped.
Rachel, it's
Oh, God.
it's astounding, and as soon as that glimmer that he sparks in your brain, you remember it
Okay.
very clearly.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Hey, intern.
Yes.
We're gonna not mess with this door.
Okay.
I back up from it.
Should we try a different hallway?
Well, if we go outside, we're not gonna survive whatever the hell's in the sand.
Well, also, the door's shut behind us, so we're kind of trapped in here.
Old elven proverb. One shut door means another opens.
That's an interesting term. That's an interesting phrase. No, I really think that you're onto something, David.
I'm pretty sure the translation is one shut door means a broken window, if you're going for true Elvish.
We don't talk about that elf. That elf is brutally mean.
So what's the plan, guys?
I'm
So,
gonna go find it. That door is bad.
well, but is it because you damaged it?
My question is it because I had them both open? But I'm kind of scared after dying once. If I go do it again, will it reset us again? Because I'm not sure what reset us.
Yeah.
But I'm actually extremely fascinated about this. This is awesome shit.
I mean, it is really interesting. Okay, what if we...
I'm not mad you came anymore. This is too cool. Plus, if I would have put that image in one of their heads, they piss themselves.
But do you think it's because you... So you think it's because both of the doors were open at the same time?
Possibly.
So...
Or when the front door closed, another door opened. But that's just a weird-ass thought I had. Not cement. We could try the theory of closing the door and opening the other one, but...
Someone has to be in there to do it.
Yeah, and the interns are too shitty to do it. Plus, if I do it, I don't have to tell Mom you died. So...
I don't have to tell Mom that you died.
I open the door, slip in and close behind me.
No, I don't have to tell Mom that you died.
Rachel, are you going with him through the door, or are you staying out here?
I'm gonna go with them.
Okay. The interns will pile in behind you.
I roll a 15 stealth to hide behind the door as they walk in to scare the shit out of them.
The door opens outward, so it'd be difficult to stealth behind the door. If you're outside, then
I look directly at him as I walk in.
Boo.
Yeah, with the four of you in here, you're each taking up a 5-foot square.
Okay.
So it's pretty tightly packed.
Okay.
Luckily, you don't have too many interns.
Shucks.
Okay. So now what? Now that you're all packed in.
Okay.
Well,
Shut
I'll go
the
to the
door
other side.
behind us.
Yeah, I'll go to the other side.
Okay.
I'll touch the handle.
David, you close the door behind you?
Yes.
Okay.
Walk to the side, touch the handle. Same thing as the other door?
Yep.
I'll look up. You ain't gonna hear me even if I pray. And I'll open the door.
Door opens fine.
No
You
whistle.
walk out into another hallway. And it's curved just like the other one, but sort of continuing the curve around.
Okay.
In this
Stretch.
hallway, it's the same as before, Rachel. There's writing on all of the walls.
Okay.
If you look all the way down the curve to its end, there's another flat wall with another door like this. And then on the interior curve, if you look at your map, you'll see a doorway.
Yes.
On the interior wall about halfway.
So I know I don't understand the writing. Is it still sort of the same? Like I can look at it and the writing we saw previously and say that they're the same, like they have the
Yes.
same source
Yeah, it's the same style of writing, the same script.
Oh, hello.
Mm,
Okay. Now that you're in here, you see the body that sort of I don't know what we're gonna call it, entity.
Mhm.
Walks from the other door from the other hallway. It walks halfway through the hallway and then stops and turns at the interior walkway. And walks through that door the same way it did the other. As it's walking, it says, "Echoes a ring that never chimes, which turns from straight a gnarled spine."
I go back to her.
I'm loving this. I really am. I'm enjoying it.
I put a paper on the ground. Like, draw a line. This is where we came in.
Uh-huh.
We had this straight long hallway ahead of us.
Right.
Ghost fucker came out this way.
Uh-huh.
Went around this way. Open door. Open both doors together, we die.
Yes.
Or it was because I damaged it. Either way, we're not sure yet.
Right.
Maybe the place doesn't like to be damaged. I'm halfway tempted to nick the wall with a spear, but I don't feel like dying again, so I don't want to experiment that.
Right.
So we go up,
Mhm.
and if we continue, we see that 7-foot tall spirit fucker walks back towards us, but goes through that door instead of continuing to walk all around.
Yes.
So we're assuming that this round hallway possibly could maybe be sphere,
Yeah.
circle-ish.
It could. But he's not taking the lap around.
No, which
I mean,
the question is,
you want to follow him?
I kind of do, but I kind of don't. It's too easy to follow him. But
I want to see what he's up to. Right? I mean, so like so we're saying this is a ghost, some sort of spirit.
I thought your name was calligraphy, not curiosity. But it is
Go
a
to
mystery.
Mars.
It's a mystery, isn't it, though?
It is. I think we should see what he's up to, because if he's some sort of ghost, maybe he's stuck in some kind of a loop.
You think he has treasure?
There could be treasure. That would be pretty sweet.
And this place is full of doors.
I mean, we should probably look around anyway, because maybe you said you heard gears before the door closed, so there must be some sort of mechanism.
Yeah, we're in it.
Right. So we have to probably find whatever it is to reopen the door to get out.
So where would you put in a mechanism? Where would you put a gearbox?
Maybe in the middle.
All right, you hear a loud chime.
Fuck.
Oh, no.
The guy said you're not supposed to hear that. Echoes ring that you never. I listen for the gears moving again. 14 perception.
Yeah, you can hear the gears.
They're moving again.
Okay. Well, last time they moved, the door shut. Do you think in other doors?
Every time I'm really starting to get pissed off if every time we close a door, it moves. So let's go through the door.
All right.
Quickly.
Let's go.
The one the spirit went through.
Okay.
That goes in.
Going in.
So
it's the 2-part door. Just like the
Yes.
last one. You open the exterior. You all pile in.
Yes.
Okay. And now what do you do?
Shut the door that we came in from.
Okay.
across the room. A mind leaker. If there's a treasure, I say we kill the interns and take it.
Can you stop? Like, I hate when you do this.
Do you know how many of your little field trips a treasure would pay for? You don't have to share.
Look, interns don't get paid anyway. They have to do it for the experience.
Okay. You guys are really focusing on the wrong things here.
We don't have to pay our interns.
Like fucking capitalism.
You know, I knew there's a reason I liked you sometimes.
Just don't die again. I don't want to tell Mom that you died.
Okay, do you guys open the
Yes.
second door after you close it?
Yeah.
As you walk in, you see sort of made of the same materials as the entity that you saw earlier. It looks like a lab.
Ooh.
There are sort of bottles and textbooks and things of that nature strewn about everywhere. And it seems like it flickers. And go ahead and roll me a perception. This is a relatively large room.
12.
18.
Okay. Rachel, you can see that there are some figures. It looks like they're having a muted discussion in the corner on the top side of the room.
Is anyone... No one's looked at us as we came in.
No. They
They're-
seem unaware.
Okay, I'm gonna walk towards them. Do they seem like they're having... can I tell anything from their body language about the type of conversation they're having?
One of them, you could, just by looking at them, seems confidently going through a book. The other one is hunched over them, kind of soft yelling,
Okay.
and making an impassioned plea.
Okay.
They both look like they're wearing the same types of robes that the entity was wearing, but their hoods are down.
Okay. Do they look human?
Yeah, they look human.
Can I see anything can I see the text in the book that they're looking at? Is it the same text as what's on the walls?
Yes.
Okay.
They don't even notice that you're there, by the way.
Do they feel like, if I kind of hold my hand out towards them, is there like a temperature change? Like, are they giving
No.
off like a cold?
Nope. No cold, no heat.
I want to try to touch one.
Okay. As you touch one of them, your hand passes right through them,
Okay.
but you feel very nauseous.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll 1d4.
I bump an intern into one of the tables or as it's flashing.
3.
For 3 turns, Rachel, you're going to be incapable of feeling comfortable. You're just going to be nauseated, not throwing up or anything, but just incapable of getting your bearing. Like you're just dizzy and things don't feel right.
Okay.
Your vision kind of is blurry, phasing in and out.
All right. I'm just going to kind of lean against a nearby wall or table or whatever is nearby.
The table looks like them.
No, not that.
Okay. So if you're going to lean up against the wall, that's fine.
Okay.
D-Walker, are you still pushing one of the...
Yeah.
Okay. The same thing for him.
Oh.
Let me go ahead and roll this. He looks very uncomfortable and dizzy, and he kind of wobbles for a second and sits down.
I pull out a flask and loose my flask in his face. You want to sip?
He just looks away from it. He's very disjointed from reality for a moment.
I take a swig, put away, mark my notes. Yeah, I'm not touching the big guy walking down the hallway.
He seems to recover relatively quickly. Rachel, you seem like you're having a little more difficult a time.
Okay.
Maybe it's since they were living, there was more disturbance in touching the astral projection of it, the reflection.
Or maybe it's a random roll and they just got different rolls.
Yeah.
Either way.
Could be.
Let me sound smart for a second, fucker.
Okay, so this goes on for a moment, this impassioned argument, but you can't make any sound. There's no sound, but it does seem like they're arguing like a muted conversation, and they're like looking over their shoulders, kind of like they're trying to get close to be angry with each other. But then after a few moments, the sporadic flicker kind of flickers more and more and more, and then it's gone. Everything is gone. It's an empty room.
So there's not even furniture in here?
No.
Okay, but there was when we saw the the other beings, and they were looking at different.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like that maybe this area or wherever they were was, I don't know, like a makeshift laboratory.
Okay.
You've
Other
seen enough laboratories in your time
Uh-huh.
to know that when people are on like a site mission and they have to set up a lab,
Yeah.
multiple different studies will take up sometimes the same, like if like you're doing an excavation to dig up dinosaur bones, right? Or anthropology or something like that is probably more likely. Sometimes there might be people there that are doing linguist kind of work, looking up the languages that they found on documents, and another might be someone who's more anthropological. They're like looking for the bodies and the customs, and another person who's actually testing the DNA and bone density and disease.
Okay.
So it looked like that sort of operation where there are multiple different schools of study occupying the same makeshift lab.
Okay. All right. Other than the door that we came into, are there any other exits in this room?
There is a doorway to your, like, since the room is arced, if you look at your map, if you go up on that wall, there's the doorway.
Is that the one we came in from?
No.
Okay.
Not on the far wall, like on the arced wall, but on the flat wall on the top. Do you see? Do you have your map?
Yeah.
Like if you run your finger up towards the top line, there's a doorway there, a double door, and then also on the bottom.
Okay, I thought those were. Okay, I thought the thin line was a wall. Okay, all right.
No, those little tiny thin lines are just decorative.
Okay.
They're relevant later, not relevant now.
Okay, all right.
That worries me when he says they're relevant later.
Right.
Everything in this is very well designed, if I say so myself. Which I do, because I did.
I'll go peek out one door, you peek out the other, and see what it looks like.
Do we want to open them at the same time? Because that seems like a bad idea.
Of course it's a bad idea.
Let's open them at separate times.
Okay.
Do you want to open yours first? I'll open mine first. I'm going to the left door.
Age before beauty.
Left door, in which orientation?
Top or bottom?
Yeah, top or bottom.
Oh, God. Oh.
I'm kind of a middle myself.
Oh. Middle implies something else.
Sorry.
Look, I don't want to know.
We were being too serious.
Middle implies extra people.
Once again, we want to thank you guys for listening to Freelance Heroism. We hope you're having just as much fun listening as we are playing. Visit us at facebook.com/freelanceheroism and leave us a like. If you want to see our adventures in comic form, The Professional illustrates our misadventures and more at 1d4rounds.com. And if you want to support us, consider donating. We're at patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Keep an eye out for rewards as we add them.
Our cast includes Rachel Moore as Calligraphy, monk researcher of the Primus Literis Library. David Walker as Threshold, warlock to the Great Old One. And Deece Cassius, that's me, as everybody else. Send an email to freelanceheroismpodcast@gmail.com, and don't forget to give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next week. In the meantime, the invoice is in the mail. It's not Rod Serling.
No.
but I think it'll sound
Mhm.
better than trying to do a direct thing.
Yeah. That was good.
Should I do it again?
I don't think you need to, but if you want to, you can.
There's a realm where fantasy become reality.
No.
Tale become true. And professionals become bunnies.